What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.
Opinionated, outspoken, informative. The Jaguar Journal. Your source for the latest information on Southern University sports and SWAC athletics. A Baton Rouge sports talk tradition.
It is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning, everybody. I am Perry White. Good to have you guys with me. You know, it feels a little old school up in here now. What y'all don't know behind the scenes, there's been other people here in the studio. But this morning, it's Mike and I. It feels back like how, I don't know, like it's supposed to be. It just feels smooth up in here this morning. I don't know. Man, y'all don't realize my boy Mike, man. Hey, Mike be going to work back there. I feel totally comfortable when Mike is back there. Now, sometimes it be other people back there, and I be like, Mike, watch him, Mike. But this morning, I know I'm in good hands like Allstate, right? Mike back there, he going to make sure everything good, man, and I'm making sure everything is good with you guys. So, good morning. Hope you guys have had a great week as we get things started on this Saturday. It is summertime. How the kids been treating you guys? They running you crazy? Or you got some order in your house? I hope you got some order in your house. Better have some order in your house. Don't let them kids run you out your own house. Because I remember those summer times being kids. We wasn't even in the house. Get outside. You gone all day. Come in, my mom say you smell like a billy goat. You stink. Don't even sit down on nothing. Go take a bath. And clean that tub out when you're done. Because, you know, you've been outside all day. You leave a ring in the tub, that dirt. Don't act like y'all don't know what I'm talking about, like y'all didn't go outside and get dirty and play and sweat. Drink out that water hydrant out the backyard. Somebody backyard, front yard, wherever it was. You know, you got to let the first 5-10 seconds run because it's hot. That water hot as it can get. But after you let that water run, come on now. Y'all remember being kids? I know we grown and everybody acting like, you know, I don't go outside. We're sweating. It's hot out there these days, you know. But when we was kids, and it could be different eras. You know, I grew up as a kid. My era was the 90s. You know, the video games came on the back end, so I didn't really grow up with the video games. And if you had a video game, hell, we didn't afford it in my house. I had to go to somebody else's house, and if they had it, then I played it at their house. But that's what it was. That was old school. Those was the days of the summer where the whole neighborhood was outside riding bikes and doing everything else. It was some good times, man. We wasn't stuck in the house on what the kids on now. They watching YouTube all day, Twitch, playing video games and watching streams and whatever. They just distracted. We got on the line. Chuck, good morning. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, you all, and early happy Father's Day too. I'm not anyone's father. I'm someone's uncle. I don't have any children, but I'll leave that to you all. But early happy Father's Day to you. And that's something that you brought up. That was last week when you had those two guys on. You just talking about health. And another thing, Brother White and you all that comes up, and talking about a lot of black men not wanting to go to the doctor. Let's face it. There are those among us, and not just us, but just it could be any race that have these thoughts about the doctor, and have these homophobic thoughts. So that's one thing that's not being discussed. Let's face it, it would be something to talk about. Is look at the month that we're in now, which is Pride Month. You hear all the homophobic remarks and all that, and that could be one of the things, things that come to their minds. They don't want a male doctor on them, and being checked and let that come in. I don't want nobody come in getting in their feelings this morning, because I know there's probably some out there that might think like that when it comes to say, oh, I don't want him touching me. That's why I wanted to put that out there.
I appreciate you, Chuck, man, and thank you for the call.
All right, you all take care.
All right.
And again, happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Well, Chuck took me somewhere else right quick. But to go back to last week, fellas, before I get ready to go to break, y'all go get checked, man. That was the whole idea of it. I know that's not going to be a episode that get, a lot of views, a lot of watch, whatever, a lot of listens, however you want to put it. But it's an honest conversation. And as a man that I am, and it has to be resonated to me that not only am I a man, I'm a father, I'm a leader. I have to be in a position to be here to continue to be in that position. And what's the best way is making sure that I'm good and checking my health. And that's the best way. I want to make sure that you guys, too, as men, as leaders, as kings, as fathers, man, that means something, because community means something to me. Clearly, I make sure we talk about the community here. It was a community that raised me. It was a village that raised me. And I often have that. Do you all often have that where you kind of take a step to the side and, amongst all the things that you have going on in your life, you may be success, it may be failure, it may be happy time, it may be a sad time, maybe anger, maybe whatever. But when you take that time and you just take a step and you walk down memory lane in your mind and you remember where you come from, you remember all the people who played a part in your life, all the families, and this is for me because everybody may not have had that, but it could be a particular person. But for me, there were many families that was friends of my family that they were family. When I see them, they're like family. We call each other cousins. Not a lick of blood the same in us, but we grew up together. They kids grew up with me. We all grew up from kids all the way up. We know nothing but each other as family. I can call and be in the city where they at right now, and they tell me, Perry, don't you get a hotel. You come over here. You gonna lay your head down over here. When I think about just all the families and the people who have made an imprint on my life for me to be here, because it wasn't just at home. It was a lot of different people. It was a lot of different families. And a lot of people had expectations for me, because they wanted to see me be successful. They knew I came from a home of a mother who wanted the best for me. They wanted to see me be successful. They knew I came from a home of discipline and structure. They wanted to see me be successful. And I often have to take that time and I take a step back, and whether they still here or they're gone, because there's plenty that's gone, because I'm realizing I'm getting older. The little cousins who was 5 and 6 ain't 5 and 6 no more. They're grown. And I often have to take a step back and just realize, I didn't come this far not to do the little things for myself. And the little things for myself is making sure am I good? making sure my health is good. Because now my priorities are my kids. Now I'm in a position as a father. I got to make sure I'm here for them. That I continue to be the leader, the dad, and everything else that they need from me in order to make sure that their future, that when they look over, I'm right there, supporting. And if it just takes me to go to the doctor to get checked, then dog, I mean, come on, man. And I say that to many of the fathers and many of the men out there. It's our responsibility. Chuck got me back on this, but I was going in a whole different direction. But it is our responsibility, man. It's our responsibilities to be here and to lead our communities as men. I give women a lot of respect, no doubt about it. But as a man, we're leaders. It's our job to take hold of our communities, our homes, and to lead and to give that whatever it is we're supposed to give. That support, that love, that discipline, that structure. It's our job to do that. Let's get ready to take a break, everybody. I'll come back on the other side. It's still the summertime. I got to get back on the summer, all right? So y'all stay tuned. We'll be back. More of the Jaguar Journal.
Quincy Richard is the quarterback. And, Don, this is a man who's really changed his game from last season, and he's a graduate student as well.
Yes, he has, Bob. Quincy Richard has matured into the unquestioned leader of this Southern University offensive attack. 10 wins this season, and he set school marks for passing yards and touchdown passes. And Bobby's had a lot of help. Only 5 sacks on the season.
He earned his undergraduate degree back in August. He's taking some master's classes, and he wants to be a lawyer.
Here's Richard looking in the end zone. Has a man there. Touchdown, Southern University.
Play clock down to 3. Richard gets it off over the middle. Touchdown!
Holmes goes in motion and comes set on a 1st and 10. Richard completes it. That's Ard. Ard down the sideline. He could go. And finally pushed out of bounds. Richard's run for 10 touchdowns this season. He's going to keep it. Richard goes in. Make it 11 for Quincy Richard. Richard wide open. Touchdown, Chris Davis. Oh, does he love playing football even more now?
That in the flag against Grambling, holding on the kickoff.
Richard looking deep, and it's a touchdown.
But only 3 times did he go down. Twice he ran out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. It goes down as a sack.
2nd and 8. The deep ball, and that's our man, Chris Davis, for the touchdown. Time for today's State Farm Players of the Game. And from Southern University, the quarterback, number 15, Quincy Richard, 34 of 42, 552 yards, 5 touchdown passes.
Quincy, on behalf of State Farm Insurance Companies, I want to present you with a trophy for the most outstanding player today. Congratulations.
All right, everybody, I am back. I am Perry White. It is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody out there listening on Talk 107.3 FM and everybody watching across our Facebook and our YouTube Live. Let's go straight to the phone lines. We got CJ this morning. Good morning, CJ, man. How you doing?
Good morning, Perry. Thank you for taking me so early this morning. Look, I just want to wish you a happy Father's Day. That's a big day that we all should be celebrating with pride, prosperity. But it's another thing I'd like to see if I could get you to do. You've been doing a great job on bringing on some guests to help offset some of the things that we can't do and don't talk about doing in this little dead period until football come on. But the Louisiana budget just got approved for $53 billion or so, and it's a big project in there for universities. In this project, it's a big package in there for Southern University for new buildings and new this and new that. I was wondering if you can go out and try to get the facility manager for Southern University to come on the show to talk about all the things that's getting ready to come to Southern University campus as it relates to its infrastructure.
I can tell you this. I have reached out to Chancellor Pierre. I've been trying to get him actually for the past few weeks, and he's been ripping and running, but I'm currently working on trying to get Chancellor Pierre to sit down with us here at the show and basically have a conversation about the university and, you know, what has happened in the past now that he's taken over and what the future is looking like in terms of the upgrades around campus and everything else. So I have been reaching out. It's just a matter of being able to track people down and get them to come on, but I have definitely been reaching out.
Well, if you can't get Pierre, then what you can get, which should be pretty easy, is the chairman of the board. And they would, you know, it ain't going to be no problem getting them on because that's what they need to do to promote the university. Because at one time, Perry, before you came on the scene, the population of Southern student body was somewhere around 12 or 13,000 students at Southern Baton Rouge. Now it's down to about 6,000 students. And it is a good question to ask, what is the university doing to help itself instead of just begging people to help them when they got the ability to do a lot of things themselves. So I just wanted to take that this morning. I want to let you know, tell the world that CJ got another project going on. Next week we open up a supply store in our building on 440 North Foster Drive, and I'm going to see if I can get Perry to come over there and say a few good words on behalf of what we're doing to move everything forward in the right direction.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Just want to see if you're working.
Thank you, man. Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Yeah, for everybody out there, I have been reaching out. You know, I don't have a problem letting you know. I have been reaching out to different people at the school. Now, sometime, hey, they may not take little old Perry so serious. That's what you say when you try to diminish. Well, look, I see you with your little radio show you're doing. But no, in all honesty, I have been reaching out. People have just been, just been hard to catch up to them. I still have the rest of this summer. And that's what I try to do during the summer times, to be informative in terms of the things that's going on. And, of course, growth is happening at Southern in terms of revamping some things. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in the show later on about some of the changes that's happening at the Baton Rouge campus right here at Southern University. But I've definitely been reaching out, man. I really have been trying over the past few weeks. Even from the athletic side, I've reached out to Banks as well. So I'm very transparent. I don't have a problem. I ain't saying nothing wrong to say I've been reaching out to somebody. So, you know, I've been reaching out to the people that I know that you guys will want to hear from, right? I know what y'all want to hear. I know the people y'all want to talk to. I know the people that y'all going to call in and want to speak to and ask the questions. And I have been reaching out. And so right now I'm just waiting back to hear back from them, to catch that lucky breakthrough where they say, you know what, that Saturday I actually am free. So until I get there, but trust me, it's going to happen. I'm working hard on it. I'm constantly reaching out, and I'm constantly trying to make it happen. So good morning to everybody out there. See, we got LaPlace. If outside Louisiana, we call it LaPlace, Louisiana. But I'll be very Louisiana today. LaPlace, we got Monroe, Dallas, Washington, D.C., Houston, all checking in this morning with us on our YouTube channel. Good morning to you guys, and good morning to everybody in Baton Rouge listening on radio. Man, it feels so good to continue as I check in and I look on here to see that this show is beyond just Baton Rouge, that we're actually getting opportunities to engage everybody. And anybody is more than welcome to call in, man. If you got something you want to say, if there's something, a direction you want to lead me in, if it's somebody that you say, Perry, I would love to try. If you can get them on the show, the number is 225-499-1073. Talk to me directly, man. As you see, hey, I'm very open. Have a conversation with me. I always leave it open to the people. Now, I know a lot of people, you know, I don't never like to call in. You know, I may be in the comments or I may watch from afar, but I notice a lot of people don't want their They don't want their voice out there where somebody can pick it up and find out that it's them. I don't want to say this publicly, and it's okay. I don't have a problem clearly, obviously, doing it. This is what I do. And it comes with the territory, you know. I don't go at nobody personally. We talk about the business at hand, and look, and if somebody say, hey, we'd like to hear like CJ, he wants to hear about the growth that's happening at Southern right now. I reach out to the facilities director, the chair of the board. You know, I reach out all I can. A lot of people just simply don't want to do no speaking. Mike even laughed at that. A lot of people just don't want to talk. Some people don't want to tell y'all. Some people just don't feel like getting on here explaining stuff to y'all. That's the reality of it, too. Just rather not say nothing, you know. Let them think what they going to think. We'll put out there when we're ready to put out information. Ain't that something? I'm not saying that's what it is, but I think y'all know. Come on, man. A lot of y'all know Southern. Don't act like y'all was just born today and act like Southern just became Southern. Today, y'all know Southern. And you know, it get back to people, well, man, I don't think you should go on that show with Perry. Why not? Come on here and have a conversation. I don't blast nobody. If anything, we're going to talk like it's not even radio. We're just going to have a conversation and ask the questions to figure out what's going on. So myself and the people out there all are understanding of what the future holds. Because we read these articles and stuff, but, man, it ain't like hearing somebody's voice explain something to you, isn't it? I can write for the kids all day, every day, a note on what to do, but it ain't nothing like hearing it come from your dad himself to tell you what you need to do. That same thing I feel about a lot of stuff. And then if y'all realize, I really don't like talking about stuff without having people here who actually put the information out so you can hear it directly from them. Because what happens is you start to call and ask me all the questions, and I don't have all the answers. And I be so upfront. I do not be having all the answers. I'm pretty sharp and pretty smart, but I'm not in these people positions, so I give you what I see from the outside. You know what? Speaking of that, let's get ready to take a break. I got a story for y'all on the other side. I like where I'm at, where we're going with this. I got a story for you guys, so you guys stay tuned. Let's get ready to take a break. More of the Jaguar Journal. It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
T.R. Ricks is a fifth-year senior who's getting his first chance to drive the train that Bob talked about. And right now, he's driving it quite well because the Southern Jaguars are kicking butt in the SWAC conference. As Bob mentioned, 6-0 overall in the SWAC, and T.R. Ricks has played so well, over 2,000 yards passing. In the last 3 games running the football, he's been over 100 yards on the ground. The respect factor that he gets from his teammates is incredible. As a fifth-year senior who's never started, they elected him captain. And the numbers he has put up are represented on your screen. 27 total touchdowns on the offense, a pass percentage of nearly 60%. He could be the SWAC Player of the Year on the offensive side.
And they're going to get a huge dose of the best offensive player in the SWAC, and that being Thomas Ricks.
Yeah, what Thomas Ricks has found a way to do is just beat defenses either with his arm, with his feet, or with his leadership capabilities, finding a way to win the games late with fourth-quarter comebacks. He showed versatility and athleticism. He's a tremendous athlete that knows how to win, most importantly.
Really is a leader both on and off the field.
I just think it has come to a maturity level. I have a 4-year-old son, and, when he was born, I had to grow up fast, and, just staying in school and practicing every day, trying to get better every day, just so he can have a better future. It's just been my inspiration. So, I just think that's my motor that drives me and, keeps me in the game.
His 4-year-old son, Collier, has not missed a game this season. They throw the football around in Rick's dorm room at Southern, and he says it's great playing football with Collier. 1st and 10. Ricks. He's got Vernon. Vernon makes the catch at the 45.
They can run the entire offense with all those guys in the game.
Ricks to Vernon. First down. Holmes in the backfield. Ricks. First down. Gage on the tackle, but not until Ricks picks up the first down. 2nd and 7. Ricks. Overstreet's got it. Across midfield. Ricks has a receiver downfield. It's caught for a touchdown. Territory. Ricks fakes the pitch. Gets inside the 15.
He's in the type of young men that represent his philosophy in life and in football.
Ricks in a shotgun. He's going to run it out to the 10. And 2nd and 11 after the holding penalty. Sidearm toss.
All right, good morning, everybody. It is the Jaguar Journal. I'm Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us. Good morning. Hey, we got Newport News, Virginia checking in with us this morning. Glad to have you guys with us. Everybody listening on radio here in Baton Rouge, capital city area on Talk 107.3 FM, and everybody out there listening across the world on our YouTube and our Facebook Live. Good to have you guys with us as we continue to expand the show. Got a story for y'all. You know, a lot of y'all may not know how Perry got to Baton Rouge or got to Southern. A lot of people, often when I have conversations, they think I'm from Baton Rouge, actually, or from around the area somewhere in Louisiana, but I'm actually not. I grew up in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I want to let you guys know that. Ties between Pine Bluff and Chicago. My family all started out in a small town in Lake Village, Arkansas. I'll give you a little background about myself. And my grandmother and her brothers and sisters moved and got out of that little country town of about 1,000 people, and they moved to Cleveland, Chicago, Kansas City, Las Vegas, and started families. My grandmother, she went to Chicago with a couple of her brothers and sisters that all went off to have pretty good lives and raise families. So my youth growing up was between Arkansas and between Chicago because my mother went to the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. So I was always back and forth. So I got a lot of Chicago in me. I grew up in Chicago. So that's always been something that separated me when I was in Arkansas. I always had that fast beat to me. I still got it to this day. Went to private school the vast majority of my life. Went to private school all the way up until I was in the 8th grade, Catholic school. I grew up, I am Catholic. I went to a Catholic private school. I ended up going to public school when I was in the 9th grade. Went to a school by the name of Jack Roby, right? Went through 10th grade through 12th grade. Went to Pine Bluff High School, right? Smart, but was always, the school that I went to was not one of the better schools. The big school had over 2,000 kids. It was very hustle and bustle school, very open campus, and had an opportunity to always be in a position to do my own thing. And that's what I was doing a lot of times. I was paying bills when I was in high school, helping out around the house and doing everything else. But most importantly, I ended up having a teacher and a few teachers. I brought Miss Collins on here, and my other one was Miss Glover. She was my AP biology and biology's honors teacher. I always took the top classes, but I always just did enough to get by. She helped me win some projects. I ended up winning some science fair projects over the next few years. I'm talking about not just winning it at the school. We're talking about even on a national level, from a regional to a state up to a national level. I started gaining a lot of attention, and scholarship opportunities came to me. That's how I ended up at UAPB. I had opportunities to go other schools that I looked at: Auburn University, Notre Dame, Prairie View, Southern, University of Arkansas, and, of course, UAPB. Because I was so close to home at UAPB, the money was there for me without having to pay out of state, all this extra stuff. The money made sense, and that's what my mother told me. I really wanted to go to Auburn University. That was my choice. That's where I wanted to go. My mother told me it made sense at that time. You go to UAPB, they offer you everything that you want. I go to UAPB. I stayed there for about 2 years. Within this program, I worked for a world-renowned doctor named Dr. Andy Goodwin in the fish pathology lab. Running tests on whatever you eat out there in terms of a fish. If it comes from a farm here in the United States, they send it to that lab, and we run the test to make sure the specimen and the whole community has no diseases that ultimately affect you as the consumer. And I worked in this lab and I won numerous awards in this lab as well. A lot of people don't know this. I started to have a change of heart. Pine Bluff just wasn't it. UAPB wasn't it. It got old to me quick because I didn't go nowhere, but I was still in school. I just got off the school books. I got off the school work. I got caught up, started kicking it. You know how I go. You smoke, you drink. Hey, you post it up. You know you got a 10 a.m., but one of your partners come by and say, hey, we finna go, hey, match one. Y'all that know what I'm talking about, but it's the real. And it's like, cool. But, you know, a few hours go by, I'd have missed 2-3 classes. The honest truth. Grades start to slip. I'm not really all into it anymore. The product I am becoming, the environment that I probably needed to get away from. Doing all of these things, distracting myself. My GPA drops. Not really enthused about what I'm doing anymore. Just, it's getting old to me. The whole environment is getting old. I changed my major. And it shocked everybody because it's like, man, you got a bright future in this. I mean, I really did. But at the time, Barack Obama was in office. I'm feeling real political now. All right, black man, it's my time to get into the community. You know, I don't know. It's just politics. Changed my major to political science. I tried a political science department at UAPB for one semester and was like, nah, this ain't for me. The department was full of guys from Africa that I never could quite seem to have a relationship with. It just didn't seem to equate. So I left it at that. Finally, I got to this point where, and I am a person that is very self-motivated. Depression rarely touches me. But I got into a depressed state because I'm looking around and I'm like, all right, I'm at this age. All the older cats in the community who, you know, still around, they coming around kicking it with me. Am I going to be that cat when I get older to be them coming back around the youngsters kicking it with them? That made me nervous. I had a real life reality check to myself. I realized time stopped and I looked around. And as I looked around, I said, this is not for me anymore. I looked up, started researching where I wanted to go. It was two places I was going to end up. It was Atlanta for Clark Atlanta University, and it was Southern. And that was just my options at the time because now I'm getting through college. If I go to Atlanta, at least Atlanta has the hustle and bustle that I need where if it ain't school, I can find a lot of different things to get into because I've been a hustler my whole life. I get money however I need to get it. Then I looked at Southern and I'm like, all right, at least I'm in Baton Rouge, just a college town, Southern LSU. I can at least find a good enough community of people to be around and good enough friends that probably if I can meet the right people to keep me on track. I tell this and look, I go work 2 jobs. I'm working at KFC and I'm working in the Union on campus. And at the time, you know, the bootleg CDs and DVDs. Hey, I was hustling 3 for 10, 5 for 20. I was selling CDs and DVDs and getting up off of them. Whatever you wanted from the kids movie to the adult movies. You'd be surprised who buying them too. Hey, I had it. And I just stacked my money because I knew what it was going to be. I didn't know nothing about Louisiana like that. You know, I came down here on a recruiting visit in high school, but that was it. But I don't have no family in the state of Louisiana. I don't understand the culture. I didn't really understand a lot of this. But and the journey I'm telling you, because it happens to many. Some people just don't have the opportunity to be able to jump it. But I stacked my money. I had my goals made up in my mind what I wanted to do. And what I knew I wanted to do was leave the environment that I knew I needed to leave because it wasn't motivating me no more. It wasn't giving me what I needed to take me to the next level. I got stagnant. My GPA dropped to a 1.7 because all I wanted to do was get high and drink and go kick it with the females, and I wasn't studying class no more. Stack my money, take a trip down here. I find out about the Palisades, all right? Because I ain't trying to live on campus. I want to do my own thing. I find out about the Palisades, stack my money, do everything I need to do. Summer 2010, I moved to Baton Rouge. Get to the Palisades, right? Trying to find a job. And the whole time now, I don't have no car. I'm jumping on the bus. Remember, I got the city mentality growing up in Chicago as well. So I don't ask for rides. If you got public transportation, I'm using it. I could care less what you think. It just, if you got to move, you got to move on your time. I learned in life what it's like to be on somebody else's time and having to wait around on them and having to move when they move. I don't have time for that. This bus got a schedule. I can make my day up by the schedule of that bus. I get to Baton Rouge, couldn't get in school. Know what they told me? You transferred in. As a transfer, I think at the time you had to have a 2.5 GPA in order to be immediately accepted as a transfer. I got a 1.7. Dang, can't even apply for Pell Grant. But God led me here. So what happened was they had a rule. If you sit out of school for 2 years, that GPA does not count. Now you can bring in your transfer credit hours that you do have. On top of, within that same time, if you work here for, I think it was a year or 2 years, you get in-state tuition. That's what I did. So I just started grinding and working. I just knew in my mind I'm going to school, but as long as I'm out of the environment where I was, as long as I'm here, I know I'm going to keep pushing because I know one thing, I'm not going back. And I don't know how many of y'all been in that position, and I'm going somewhere with it this morning, where you worked so hard to leave a place and you say, by all means necessary, I ain't going back. I done had my lowest of low there. I ain't going back. And my mom was like, basically, if this what you want to do, you got to do it. This on you. You'll respect and appreciate it more when you put in your hard work, your time, and your money to go there and be successful. And that's what I did. 2 years passed, right? I'm in Baton Rouge, but I'm around Southern. But I got in-state tuition because I'm working. I worked at the Palisades and I worked at Toys R Us. I worked at the Palisades during the day and I worked at Toys R Us overnight, stacking the shelves after all the little kids that came through and tore the store up. Worked my way up. Then I worked at the Palisades. Guess what? I had free rent. That's how I was looking at it. So I got free rent and I'm working at Toys R Us. I'm able to put some money in my pocket. That's when I met Miss Robin Merrick. I showed up at her office every single day, and she didn't know who I was and where I came from. But I showed up every single day because at the time she was working with Alumni Affairs saying, can somebody help me? I can't afford to pay for school right now, but I done did all of this. I'm ready to get back in school. She gave me the blueprint. Hey, write letters to these different alumni chapters. Let them know your story. Be honest and see who can help you. And I did that. And this is why I'm telling y'all why I love Southern so much, because there were people that helped me. There were people who took the time when it seemed like I was at my lowest and it didn't seem like I was going to have an opportunity at a second chance, that even with a 1.7 GPA, even with no way to pay for school, somebody saw something in me. And I told them, look, I'm willing to do whatever, however, just to prove to you that I'm willing to make this right. And I did. I worked hard, extremely hard. I finally got in school. I finally worked on my grades. And while I was in school, I got with Garrett. I started on the yard. My grades improved. I was on the dean's list every semester. And I say this morning to anybody out there that I have a love for Southern because a lot of places would have turned their back and not even given me the opportunity. And there were a lot of roadblocks, but I had to just deal with it because, look, it was the consequences to my actions that I had to live with. It was my fault I had a 1.7 GPA. It was my fault I wasn't qualified for the Pell Grant. It was my fault I didn't have scholarships on the table no more. I accepted that and understood that. But when I knew I was motivated for a second chance, just like, please just give me a second chance, nobody knew me and they didn't have to do anything for me, but they took the time and I just kept showing up like I am here to do it. This ain't one time and you deny me. I'm back again. I'm back again. I keep coming back. And people believed in me. My GPA moved up to finally I qualified again for Pell Grant scholarships. I began to do all the necessary things, even without having. And as that came through, then here's the opportunity for me to fall into the world of sports. Shout out to my man, Jared Carter from HBCU Digest. I spoke in front of the board when I finally got back in school, and this was dealing with Southern, dealing with the financial exigency. You know, we was dealing with these issues at Southern. And I spoke in front of the board about the importance of why we need to continue to fight the good fight. Did not know Jared Carter was sitting in the back of the room, had flew in from Baltimore, Maryland. And after that, he reached out to me on Facebook and found me and reached out and said, hey, man, I want to meet with you. I was living at the Palisades. He pulled up to the Palisades to my crib and was like, man, hey, man, you a bright dude. We got to talk, and he said, man, have you ever thought about, this is before we get into the age of digital media, but have you ever thought about writing articles? I said, man, no. I'm good in English or whatever, but in literature, but he said, man, you ought to think about writing. What do you like? I said, man, I'm into sports a lot. Well, how about you write sports? And I wrote my first article about Southern and Jackson State playing in Baton Rouge for the first time, I think, in like 3 years, and it got published. And that's how I got into this whole arena where I'm at today. Let's get ready to take a break right quick. I'll continue the story. You guys stay tuned more to Jaguar Journal. It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
Talk about offense, we talk about Southern, and it begins with their passing game.
Tom, beyond potent, we're talking about high octane, we're talking about fast break, we're talking about 41 points a game, some 500-plus yards since Terrence Levy has taken over this offense.
Because that young man doesn't drop any ball.
With the legacy that you started here, you got to feel happy to see it continue on with Doug Williams.
Ball now back at the 22-yard line. Levy, no pressure at all. Touchdown, Ingram. The Bayou Classic. Levy on a first and goal play. Throws a touchdown. Grambling comes with a blitz. Levy steps in the pocket, and his pass is caught. One-handed grab.
Sort of in the middle of the road of the SWAC, but immediately they jump on the Jackson State defense. And here's Levy rolling out. And the pass is caught. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Again throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver Hayes makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. If you're going to get, I got some free tickets. Look out for it, brother. Going downfield. Oh, and what a play by Southern.
Score. He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
It's
pass.
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable Michael Hayes. 3rd down. And 23 for a first. Levy over the middle. Nice pass that time. 2nd and 20. Levy doesn't have to get it all, but he's going to have to pick up some yards. Here he is throwing. Nice catch made.
The receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out a foul.
Touchdown.
Backfield. Plenty of time for Levy across the middle. Has his man at the 15. I don't know if you want to break the spirit of Terrence Levy or not. Here he wings one wide open down the middle, and a one-handed grab made.
The way. 3rd down and 4. And here's Lewis off the catch. Lewis still on his feet, and Lewis is streaking down the sideline. Touchdown. So they move back 5.
All right, everybody, we're back on Perry White. Good morning to everybody listening on Talk 107.3 FM around Baton Rouge and the capital city area, and everybody watching on our YouTube and Facebook Live. Glad to have you guys with us. And I'm just giving you a story this morning why, from my perspective of life, and it's real life. We make mistakes. It's consequences to our actions, but it's then how do you then take that call to better yourself? Are you going to let your downfalls remain your downfalls, or are you going to pick yourself up and say, I'm going to work hard and I don't never want to deal with these problems again? And that's how I did, and that's why I'm telling you guys this story this morning of my love for Southern. But you never know the direction in which life is going to take you and the blessings and the people that God will put in front of you in your life. I was a party boy. I kicked it. Ain't no doubt about it. Smoke, drink, women, what you want to do. We could do that all day. I lost track of what was in front of me. And when I lost track of what was in front of me, I looked at the world around me and was like, dang, if I don't stop now, the years are going to pass by and I'm going to be the dude who didn't do nothing with himself. I'm going to be the dude that they talked about had all the potential when I go back and say it took a village to raise me. That people had high expectations of me, and I had high expectations for myself, but I got off track. I got distracted. I didn't realize it. Time will pass you by, and you'll look up, and the years have gone by, and the opportunities that you had in front of you no longer exist. And now you're sitting there like, what do I do now? Kind of feel like I missed that window of opportunity. For me, I was like, nah, I see that window closing. I'm not going to miss that window of opportunity. And that's why I love Southern so much and why my pride for it is what it is, because when there was no windows nowhere, I had to pry one open and say, hey, I'm here. Can you help me? And it took some time, but people helped me. In the midst of having a 1.7 GPA, transferring in, no Pell Grant, some type of way I got into school and began to be able to build my grades up and then be able to pay for school and then having people realize, man, this kid is working hard. And I continue to work and prove that I am worth investing into. You invest in me, and I promise you I won't let you down. And here I am years later on behalf of Southern, doing a Southern-based radio show, talking to people who love Southern, who I don't know your story. It could be similar or it could have been a lot smoother. You may have taken things a lot better than I did. But I know there's a lot of people in which, even in my situation, could have come in even worse, that Southern gave them an opportunity, and I cannot ever overlook that. I cannot never stop doing what I'm doing for Southern, because Southern and the people around it had a love for me. Once again, it's why I say my loyalty lies within the institution and never the individuals. Individuals come and go. There have been many people that have worked at Southern that have come and gone, but the institution has lived. But those individuals in their positions have helped people. And I was one of the ones that was blessed to be helped. And even as I got into this side of things, never in a million years would anybody have told you Perry would be in the world of media doing shows and radio and all of this stuff. This did not seem like it was going to be my future. I never even thought about this being, I never dreamed of talking about doing stuff like this. But you never know what God has for you in a direction, but you got to always make sure you in your position with your eyes ready to see your blessing. During those times in which I wasn't seeing my blessings because I was distracted by the drinking, the smoking, and the women. That was my distraction. I ain't saying women bad. I love women and none of that other stuff. But I got overly indulged in it to the point I was missing what was in front of me, and I started making mistakes that were consequences to my actions. But I realized how hard I had to work, and I really had to work. And I'm not scared of hard work. I'm not scared of failure. I'm not scared to fall and scrape my arm and break a leg or a finger and realize I got to get back up and do this stuff again if I'm trying to get somewhere. And I thank Southern and everybody who helped me at Southern, because that's the love that I have for it today. That's the pride part. You ain't got to pay me to have a love for it. It's natural. Because if it wasn't for the institution and an opportunity, I don't know where would I be. I just knew damn well I wasn't going back to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Ain't nothing there for me. Not for Perry White. And I know a lot of people who come from their places in small towns and wherever it could be a big city. It's just the circumstance of your environment that you say, you know what, it ain't for me. Let's get ready to take a break. We get to the top of the hour, man. Stay tuned, more to Jaguar Journal.
Quarter, with Jackson State leading 10-3. Ball's at the 31-yard line. Again, throwing the football downfield. Oh, his receiver, Hayes makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. And every time you think Southern struggles, they come back, they make a play. They've done it all year long. Kick is up. Kick is good. Second down and a yard to go. Again, They give it to Lewis. Lewis finds room. Lewis still on his feet. Lewis making a move to the outside. He's inside the 25, the 10, the 5. What a run by Ryan Lewis. 69-yard run for Ryan Lewis. And how about this? Kicks up, kicks good. Halftime, George Johnson along with Charles Mann. Southern trailed in this football game 10-7. Then they reel off 14 straight points, and they do it with the big plays.
And that's something that we didn't think would happen, at least from Southern's perspective. They've been able to methodically go down the field on people and win ball games, not the big plays. You saw the big play by Ryan Lewis running 69 yards, the nice throw by Terrence Levy. This is something that I don't think Jackson State thought they would see in Southern either, and they go into halftime down by 7 points.
Jackson State came in the best defense out of the SWAC. And if you take a look at the highlights, you will see that this club, and I'm talking about Southern, was really able to capitalize on a couple of miscues, and the big plays are the result of it.
And this is Daniel Guy with a nice stiff arm to Bradley Pittman there. And he runs that ball 36 yards inside for a touchdown, makes it 7-3. And then Terrence Levy, quarterbacking, throws a big bomb to Michael Hayes, who gets by Rashard Anderson and waltzes into the end zone for a 69-yard reception. And then the big run by Ryan Lewis, a scat back for Southern, races 69 yards for the score. And that's where it stands right now, 17-10. Southern is on top.
Passing leaders in the conference, Lionel Hayes from Grambling, your top passer. Washington second, but he's intercepted right there. This time the inside handoff.
And the ball was dropped to Tommy Head.
Here's Taylor in the pocket, looking downfield and looking for Leroy Fields, and this one looks intercepted, and it is.
He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
pass.
It's
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable Michael Hayes. Hayes now with 187 yards receiving. 169-yard touchdown, 181-yard touchdown.
And Southern's came up with all the big plays.
They lead by 14. And that one is intercepted by Darden. Darden looking for some room, and Guyan will finally drag him down. But we start the 4th right after this. 2nd down and 20 after the penalty.
Oh, he's got a man wide open.
Going into the corner. Touchdown! Reynolds attempting the point after. It's good. A 32-yard field goal. Kick is up. Kick is good.
This is a great football game.
We knew it would be, though. And Torrey Thigpen got us out of our seats.
And this is the punt return by Torrey Thigpen. We were just talking about we haven't seen him. He breaks 2 tackles and runs up the sideline. He has great blocking, but gets pushed out of bounds on about the 1-yard line.
And touchdown Jackson State.
The game is a game of momentum swings. Snap is good. The kick is up.
On driver. Yes, sir.
The ball up to the big receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out of bounds at the 10-yard line. An I formation. Oh! Fumble Levy. He kicks it and falls on top of it.
Touchdown. Receiver that has not seen much action comes up big.
1st and 10. Washington over.
All right, good morning, everybody. It is the Jaguar Journal. We're at the top of the hour. I am Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us. Everybody listening to our Talk 107.3 FM across the radio waves here in the Baton Rouge capital city area, and everybody out there listening and watching on our YouTube and Facebook. Good to have you guys with us. Be sure to follow the Jaguar Journal across all social media. We're on X, we're on Instagram, as well as Facebook. we're on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel as we continue to grow, and we want you guys to grow with us, as well as not only that, we're on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And happy Father's Day for everybody that's out there. I'm a father, and happy Father's Day to you. Mike, what you got going on? Huh? Mike said he ain't no more stepdad. You was a stepdad role? 2 years, Mike was in the stepdad role. I've been in the stepdaddy role before. You know, you come to grow that relationship with the child, and then, you know, it's a little awkward as you begin to separate, but then you realize that ain't my kid. It ain't my baby. I ain't the pappy. But for a lot of us out there, man, happy Father's Day to you guys out there. And that's why I talked about last week. Health is wealth. Check on your health. Make sure you're good to stick around and continue to celebrate these. It don't seem like they give a lot of love for Father's Day, do it, man? I'm going to be honest. You know, all that stuff about the Mother's Day, you come over here and get this meal for this, and, hey, we got the Mother's Day sale and this and this and that. Father's Day a little light around the marketing area out there. I don't know. Y'all tell me. It seems like it's a little light when it comes to marketing for a day for fathers, right? Like, what we doing here? What? Yeah, good job. Keep doing what you do. You know, like, dude, is that it? Is that all we have? But as men, we already know how it go. Hey, you just got to keep going. We don't sit around waiting on no pity party, man. You know, you just keep on keeping on, and there's nothing wrong with that. Southern, I'm going to give y'all a little tidbit if they ain't doing it already for football. Y'all better be sending out the emails tomorrow saying we got a Father's Day sale going for Southern season tickets. Get your Father's Day deal right. Man, look, I helped the school, don't I? They going to say, man, you knew we was going to do that. I don't know what y'all, but I just know, hey, I be getting stuff from LSU all the time. I'm just letting you know. I'm part of their whole little thing set up too. Southern's Father's Day, you got to run the Father's Day deal. Hey, get your ticket for your uncle, your daddy, your granddaddy, your nephew, your son. Let them know we running the Southern's Day Father's Day deal. Get the ticket for how much ever, 20, 30% off. We running the deal. Buy them up today. What a great Father's Day gift to give anybody this season tickets for Southern University home games. I just did something right there, didn't I? I'm just saying. That email need to swipe down first thing, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. You know, for the fathers head to church. Or get up. I don't know what you're doing tomorrow. Church ain't for everybody. You may get up and get you a drink tomorrow. I don't know what you're doing on Father's Day. You may get up and go cut the grass, whatever. They need to slide down so the women can be like, you know what? Let's get Uncle Joe them tickets for Father's Day. Let me get my granddaddy those tickets. He been buying them same season ticket books for 25 years. Let's get them season tickets for him. Drop it down. Somebody say it ain't happening. Would have already been out last week. Hey, but you know we last minute, so tomorrow ain't too late. And anybody out there listen, that was just a little tidbit for you. Do that Father's Day deal. And talking about Southern football, man, shout out to the Southern University football team. Coach Graves sent this to me about 2 weeks ago. I'm finally getting around to it to talk about it here for the 2024-2025 academic school year. By the numbers, Southern University football had 10 players graduated during the spring 2025 semester. They had 25 football players with a cumulative GPA of a 3.0 plus, 42 football players with a GPA 3.0 plus for the spring 2025 semester. The average GPA of the team is at a 3.5 and a 948 on the academic progress rate score. I'll go through that again. I didn't say that right, did I? I kind of stumbled on the end. But shout out to Southern University on the football side. Coach Graves sent me this just a few weeks ago. I'm getting around to it for you guys. But for the 2024-2025 academic calendar year, by the numbers, Southern University graduated 10 players in the spring 2025 semester, 25 players with a cumulative GPA of a 3.0 plus, and as well as 42 players just in the spring 2025 semester with a GPA of a 3.0 plus. The average GPA of the team is over 3.5. It's right at a 3.5, and they have scored a 948 on the academic progress rate score. So shout out to the football team, man. Big stuff in terms of being able to get those honors and getting those grades. That's what I'm talking about in that first hour as I tell you the story of myself. The grades matter. Opportunities matter. How many of us know somebody came to Southern and didn't last long because they didn't take advantage of the opportunity? They had to go back home because they messed it up. Luckily for me, when I messed it up, I was already at home, but I saw plenty of others. It was plenty of classmates I had that went off to Tuskegee. They went to Clark. They went to Tennessee State, went to Jackson State, just to name some. And, I mean, within 2 semesters, they was back in Pine Bluff. And I'm like, dude, I thought you was. And you know what the number one story? Man, I kicked it and partied too hard. And you know what it's like when you get that message and you lost that Pell Grant. When you get that, you lost that Pell Grant, what do you have? But shout out to the football team because that's what it's about. Those young men taking opportunity to boost their GPAs. Now, I hope they taking them good classes now. We ain't talking about swimming and basket weaving and intramural football. We're talking about getting into those major courses and those majors that'll make a change for your life because football and these sports aren't forever. Them girls can be a young man's crack. Tell me about it. I had my first child when I was 18, my daughter, who was about to be 18. So let that kind of marinate on y'all, you know. That's what I'm saying, man. You know, you get distracted, you do your thing, you out here doing your stuff, man. But I'm thankful for Southern. I go back to that as I continue the show today because this show is showing gratitude at the same time of why I give you guys the stories that I do and why I do get critical of Southern. Southern gave me an opportunity. Everybody out there knows somebody with a story that they came to Southern and it wasn't perfect. And it's like, man, I probably wouldn't even been able to have went to school here, there, do this or do that. Everybody has a unique story. And a lot of times you find out the toughness to that unique story, like, damn, it was rough. You was able to get through the cracks. You was able to make it. You took advantage of it. You did something with yourself. A lot of us end up in careers that we didn't even think we was going to be in. I didn't even go to school for this. I never took a mass comm class. This is class for me. I got to learn on the spot. I never took anything when it comes to mass communication. Working cameras, I know most of you guys see me work a camera. What I do with Human Jukebox Media, listen, I had to learn on the fly. Radio, had to learn on the fly. To be in front of a camera, I had to learn on the fly. And trust me, I go back and look at a lot of stuff and I'll be like, Jesus, thank God for growth. But hey, you had to start somewhere. I'm not embarrassed or ashamed of how I got here and where I'm continuously trying to go. I went to school for political science. I graduated in the Nelson Mandela School of Public Policy and Urban Affairs. I thought I was going to be your senator, your governor, your mayor. Politics ain't for me, though. I don't like the fakeness of here and how folks be and the digging of the background. I just told you my background ain't squeaky clean, but it's all good. But I am a man of the people, and I'd rather be a man of the people by using my voice by what I do. And be genuine and very authentic in what I do when it comes to you guys. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. People tend to gravitate to that a lot more. People walk up to me like they know me, and I'll be like, hold on, what's your name again? Oh, I'm sorry, man. I listen to you on Saturdays. I appreciate you, man. I've been listening to the Jaguar Journal for years, man. You know, thank you for what you're doing, you know, keeping people up to date. And listen, that means something to me. Because there's a lot of stuff you could be doing. I noticed that when I just put out the information about the Southern University Homecoming Parade. We got that clip that's on Facebook, almost 20,000 views. People are tuning in. I didn't say anything crazy or wrong. I just asked people, do you agree or disagree? Your thoughts on Southern University homecoming. And listen, you can call in and talk to me about that today as well. I know I didn't get a chance to really dive deep into it last week. Of course, homecoming parade is going to be October 12th. Actual homecoming is going to be on October the 18th against Prairie View. They switched the dates of the homecoming parade because, of course, there was a traffic nightmare, and I think people have been complaining about, well, you shut down the main artery to come into the campus on those Saturday mornings, and by the time you open it up, it's just a frenzy of a cluster of people just trying to get on campus at one time, and it just creates a traffic nightmare of people being in traffic for 2-3 hours trying to come onto campus, and it's just, we got to do something about it. And what has happened, they have then moved it to Sunday before. And I've seen it up and down. A lot of people say, well, it's for the community. Let the community have it. My stance was I like Friday. Or we do it Saturday and we just change the whole route of the thing. Where we don't even let it touch Harding or that other side of Scenic that goes all the way back to Airline. Don't even let it touch those two streets. Leave those arteries open to continue to have flow of traffic coming into camp and push the parade on the other side. What's the street that go down all the way past Scotlandville High School? Start it down there by the Scotlandville High School and bring it all the way down. Turn it on to Scenic Highway. Take it up. I don't know. I'm just saying. But I like Friday. I wasn't much of a fan of this Sunday parade. You know, I get it. It had to be done. Let's get ready to take a break right quick. I'll come back on the other side. Today, just one of them shows. I'm just talking to you. I'm loaded with guests and everything else, but it's been a while of me just talking to y'all. So just talk to me if y'all want. If anybody want to talk to me, 225-499-1073, 225-499-1073. It's just one of those days, man. It's talk radio. I'm just talking to y'all today. It's been a while. Stay tuned. We'll be back more to Jaguar Journal.
Quincy Richard is the quarterback. And, Don, this is a man who's really changed his game from last season, and he's a graduate student as well.
Yes, he has, Bob. Quincy Richard has matured into the unquestioned leader of this Southern University offensive attack. 10 wins this season, and he set school marks for passing yards and touchdown passes. And Bobby's had a lot of help. Only 5 sacks on the season.
He earned his undergraduate degree back in August. He's taking some master's classes, and he wants to be a lawyer.
Here's Richard looking in the end zone. Has a man there. Touchdown, Southern University.
Play clock down to 3. Richard gets it off over the middle. Touchdown.
Holmes goes in motion and comes set on a 1st and 10. Richard completes it. That's Ard. Ard down the sideline. He could go. And finally pushed out of bounds. Richard's run for 10 touchdowns this season. He's going to keep it. Richard goes in. Make it 11 for Quincy Richard. Richard wide open. Touchdown, Chris Davis. Oh, does he love playing football even more now?
That in the flag against Grambling, holding on the kickoff.
Richard looking deep, and it's a touchdown.
But only 3 times did he go down. Twice he ran out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. It goes down as a sack.
2nd and 8. The deep ball, and that's our man, Chris Davis, for the touchdown. Time for today's State Farm Players of the Game. And from Southern University, the quarterback, number 15, Quincy Richard. 34 of 42, 552 yards, 5 touchdown passes.
Quincy, on behalf of State Farm Insurance Companies, I want to present you with a trophy for the most outstanding player today. Congratulations.
All right, good morning, everybody. It is the Jaguar Journal. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Start with a smile and a laugh. Something, man. Get your day going on a positive note. I am Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us. Everybody out there listening on Talk 107.3 FM around the Baton Rouge capital city area, and everybody listening on our YouTube and Facebook, man. Good to have you guys with us, man. It is the summertime. And guess what? Some changes are happening on the campus of Southern University, much needed changes. Of course, they had the master plan come out some years ago saying how much of an investment was going back into the institution to try to upgrade facilities around the campus. And that's what we're seeing as the campus right now is undergoing major construction to some areas. How about an outdoor classroom and amphitheater that's going to be right there by Mayberry and Mayberry Lawn? You remember those days of Spring Fest and all those other events used to be on Mayberry Lawn? Man, it was some good times, man. I used to love, see, that's what I do, them women distracted, them sundresses. Jesus Christ. We go out there for, we go out there for Spring Fest, man, and Jesus, them sundresses everywhere. Oh, Jesus. Let me keep going. Yeah, that's happening over there. My bad. I get threw off. You see how easy it is to get through off? Because that walk down memory lane, man. The outdoor classroom and the amphitheater, right? They're building it right there. Renovations to T.H. Harris Hall, public safety building, the STEM complex. They have officially started to tear down James Hall. That's the science building and everything else. When I first got here, I hated the building. I ain't gonna lie. I got to Southern, and I had biology in that building, and I had lab. I hated the building. It was old. I hated that oldness to the building. Now, a lot of people say, well, you know, the building, it educated all these people. Cool. I got it. 60 years ago, 50, 40 years ago. But I hated it. It was just an old building. There was no life to it. It just felt like walking down a dark hall, just walking to a classroom. Thank God we're getting a new building. I'm happy, okay? A global innovation and welcome center. New turf to the field. It's time for that as well. I think we done wore that turf out more than enough, from football to soccer to baseball, practicing on the track and field, the band marching up and down, Southern Lab on, just time for it. And renovations to the J.S. Clark Administration Building. So right now, if you ride around campus, you will start to see these major projects in place. And that is the beauty of it. Growth. Because I'm going to tell y'all what my partner, so I got a partner, my boy Jeff, over at Prairie View. And we played them for homecoming, what was that? That was the year Dooley. That was in 2021. Dooley was still at Prairie View. And the old athletics building that was right there, you know, where the band marches through, right across from Gradison Hall. He called it the crack. He said, man, why y'all got a crack house on your campus? May not be funny to a lot of people out there, but I looked up like, bro, what are you talking about? He said, man, you got a crack house on your campus. Like, but that was just his way of joking about the building. But I'm like, you know what? People do be looking at stuff and going to have something to say about your buildings, about how it looks. And as I looked at that building, more and more I looked at it. So every time we talked about it, I referred to it as the crack house. No crack was sold there. No drugs was done in that building for anybody out there willing to run with that. But that was just the name. And I'm like, damn, this is how people viewing us from the outside when they looking at our campus. They looking at these buildings, they looking at the facilities, and they coming up with nicknames about our stuff. But I thought that was hilarious. So when they tore that building down, the first thing I did was call and say, hey, bro, they tore the crack house down, bro. It ain't there no more. And you ain't got nothing else to say about that. Thankfully. But that whole area, this is what I like about growth and development. It ain't just words. We're actually starting to see it. You take a ride around the campus, even right there where the tennis courts, they're moving the tennis courts over to where between the softball and the baseball field, right next to the F.G. Clark Activity Center. Looking around the campus, man, you're starting to see progress. And progress is much needed, especially with Southern. And I do understand, we have seen the articles. We have seen everything about how the state has underfunded Southern, how the cuts have slashed us so much. Southern is underfunded by the state of Louisiana by over $1 billion. And it is evident when you look around the campus of what $1 billion could do for Southern. Hell, what $100 million could do for Southern. Hell, what $50 million could do for Southern. And I'm speaking on behalf of the Baton Rouge campus. I know I often overlook the entire system. Once again, Southern is the only HBCU system in the world that functions with its own board under a system with multiple campuses within it. Southern University Shreveport, Southern University New Orleans, Southern University Law, SUBR, along with the Ag Extension. So the system as a whole, we want to make sure it's strong, and it is under the guidance of Dr. Dennis Shield. The campus itself here in Baton Rouge, Chancellor Pierre. But it's good to look around and finally see some upgrades, because I know a lot of you guys, when you come back, you say, hey, that building, that dorm's still the same from when I was in school. I think the biggest upgrades to Southern that are the most noticeable for a lot of people from the old school to the new school is the back of campus, of course. With the dorms, I remember hearing about the triangle. Well, we went from the triangle to the circle, right? And even then, now that I look back, it ain't the same, because where we used to hoop on the basketball courts, you can't even hoop on them courts no more. You know, that was at the time who got those courts, SGA President Demetrius Sumner, who ended up getting those courts fixed up. And now you got the intramural center back there. So, of course, you know, this new age, who trying to hoop outside and be hot and be sweaty, you go inside the intramural, whatever. I get it. But now you have the intramural center that's in the back of campus. And I like to see the growth, because I think in order for us to push to the next generation of getting that huge student enrollment, getting the students that we want to have at Southern University, these students look for a different way of life. These students are different when it comes to being the customer. They're not the old school students of the grandparents and the parents who didn't have no options in a lot of times in places. These students are looking for new. They're different. I was just looking for opportunity. These students looking at the buildings, inside the buildings. Do the Wi-Fi work good? I know as long as I lived at the Palisades, we offered Wi-Fi. That was something that never worked well. If you didn't have the plug up, you had to plug it into the wall. I mean, the Wi-Fi never worked. And the number one people who started complaining all the time when I worked there were the law students. Like, what's wrong with the Wi-Fi? I got that on the daily. You want the real, I tell you the real. But these students are looking at them. Look at the world of like a North Carolina A&T and what they've done to overhaul their campus. And that's why we got to stay on the politicians' butt here in the state of Louisiana to make sure that Southern gets its fair share of the pie. We cannot leave it to other people, because if we do, they may not have that same love and drive. Y'all heard my story and why my love and my drive is for Southern. Southern gave me another opportunity. I got a second chance with a 1.7 GPA and no money to pay for school, but yet I graduated from Southern. Ask me how. It took a community of people, but it also took me to do hard work to show them that I'm worth the investment. That if you invest in me, I promise you I won't let you down, and I'm still not letting them down. And I still do a lot for the institution in terms of my services and what I'm able to provide. I could have been moved on and did other stuff. Baton Rouge didn't have to be home for me, because it wasn't home before. It was just a stop along my journey. But I had to dedicate a portion of my life and time because of the portion in time in life that Southern was able to give me back. That's why I'm here right now. I'm loyal. I'm appreciative. I'm thankful. Plenty of chances to move away and go do stuff. People still, hey man, why you be over there dealing with Southern? Why you do this for the school? Why this? I get a lot of whys because people, they see my potential and say, why are you still there doing this and doing that? Because I owe this much back to the school. I can't take what the school did for me and then just run and then go do something else. That's how I'm set up. Okay? That's how I am. That's how I'm wired. I just can't take, okay, I appreciate y'all. All right. I can't do that, man. I've been right here making sure every step of the way I can do what I can for Southern. Whether it's right now, this week, I got a busload of students coming from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, with Miss Collins, who was here on the show. One of my favorite teachers coming out of high school. She's going to be bringing some students down here. And the first thing she said, Perry, we got to come to Southern because of you. And anytime she brings the students down, I take them around the campus. I give them a tour myself because I let them know the love that I got for the school and the opportunity they gave me. And sometimes it's good to leave home, which I know a lot of you out there, you get upset when you say, well, the coach is not recruiting the kids from around here. And why we not getting the local town? A lot of these kids want to get the hell away from their environment and anything close to their environment. And I don't have a problem with it. Whether they go to Alcorn, Grambling, or Southeastern, wherever the hell they go, they just want to get away. And I know what it's like. Raise your hand. I can. I tried to be back at home in a safe environment, controlled environment while in school, and realized it didn't work for me because I slowly but surely went back into that environment. Maybe I didn't have the discipline. Blame me. I told you it's consequences to the actions. I take on that. The responsibility that come with it. It was my fault. Yes, I got distracted. Smoking, drinking, and women will do it to you when you're 18, 19, 20 years old. Trying to live life and get out the house and do something. And you want to have fun. And not only that, Jess, sometimes you be in the wrong crowd. That wrong crowd sometimes don't want to see you make it out, so they'll do whatever they can to keep you in. They'll tell you what you doing right is lame. Why are you doing all that lame stuff, man? That's lame. Ain't nobody trying to do that. How many of our kids and nieces and nephews and cousins and folks that we know who have potential, but they sitting there listening to some fools who ain't finna do nothing with themselves, telling them something good that they can be doing for their life is lame, and got them thinking this other stuff is the cool stuff. My mom told me when I was young, she said, Perry, you're going to understand as you get older, the wise man is going to look like the fool, and the fool is going to look like the wise man. And more than ever, as I got older and I started to realize when I opened my eyes and got out of the way of the cloudiness of all the other stuff that had me distracted, that she wasn't telling no lie. They'll have you thinking the good things that you doing is foolish. And why would you do it? To deter you from doing it. And the foolish stuff is the smartest, greatest thing one could ever do. And we need to do more foolish stuff. That's why it's important to protect your kids in terms of what they take in, information, and who's influencing them and where they're getting that influence from. Fathers, that's why it's big on us to do our part as dads. I know a lot of times we may deal with issues with mothers if you're not with them. But that's our job as leaders. That's why I say you got to get your health checked so you can be around to lead, to do your part. Uncles, nephews, cousins, granddads, whatever. We got to do our part because out here in this world, for many of us, especially black males, people telling us all the wrong stuff and having us thinking it's all the right stuff. And I've been there. Many of us have. But I woke up. Many of us, as we can just ride anywhere in many major cities and small towns and see how many of us are still asleep because we don't see it. We don't understand the importance of what it is to step up for our communities, to be those men that our communities need us to be. And don't think the foolish is the wise. Just because multiple people doing it, the majority doing it, don't still make it wise. Because somebody telling you don't make it wise. Do your research, do your homework, and learn for yourself. That's the importance. of why we have to do what we do as a community first as men, to be leaders and be fathers, to make sure that we teach our next generation of young brothers to understand the importance of, man, go to school and get you an education. Learn something. Create some value for yourself. Accomplish something. And when I say accomplish, if it's nothing more than you getting a job with benefits for your kids to be able to benefit from it. If it's nothing more than you getting a certification, a barber's license, a CDL, welding, brick masonry, whatever it is. Because, you know, we have this idea in our head talking about the plumber. You think he just some fat guy with his butt crack showing. No, the plumber, matter of fact, take HVAC. It's the summertime. Let your AC go out right now. How many of y'all are homeowners out there? How many of y'all own rental properties right there right now? Let the AC go out right now, and you got to have that HVAC person come out there to look at the AC. Because there's urgency. Who finna be in the house with 90-degree weather outside and 100+ heat index? And let him show up and then tell you how much it costs. Because it's urgency to what you need. Let the plumbing go out in your house right now and you can't flush it, the toilet. The water pressure low. These are the things we got to teach our brothers, because I know school ain't for everybody. And I'm going to tell you something. I know what's going on in these predominantly white schools because I've been in the meetings. And when it comes to the curriculum of making sure that, hey, we know a lot of our white brethren aren't going to go to college, so we have to now prepare them while they're in school to get them certified. So let's get them these classes while they're in high school that's going to have him a certified brick mason, that's going to have him a HVAC specialist, going to have him a plumber, going to have him an electrician. These kids are growing up, graduating from high school, already certified, ready, and then they teaching them entrepreneurship skills. Teaching them how to be the mechanics of the future. Not the old school guy underneath the tree. No, know how to work all this new technology. I've been in the meetings and what they doing to help the community. And when I'm in those meetings, it's white males looking around the room at other white males saying, how we going to help our next generation of white males? How we going to provide to make sure that we know some of them going to get in the plant because we going to help them. Some of them not going to go to college. Some going to go to college and fail out. We understand the cycle. We're not going to be oblivious to it. We got to think 10 steps ahead. And the ones we got to make sure we filter them through the system that they're going to be straight when they get out. And we're going to teach them how to be entrepreneurs. So when they get out, they're business owners. Or they go work for somebody. They start working for them 3-4 years. Stack their own money. Now they ready to get out on their own and start their own business, but they certified. And they got that out the way while they were in high school. Yet when I look at our community, what we doing? We're filling up the damn jails in the cemetery. That's why this message is important as we come up on Father's Day. We have to do our part as a community, whether they're our kids or not. We have to look at that community and say, man, all of them are our kids, because what I knew for me, it took a community to raise me. It took all of my neighbors who had love. I could go to any one of my neighbors in the community in which I grew up and go knock on their door at any given time, at any given reason, for any given thing, and it was like family. I ran errands for them. Hey, go up to the store and get me a paper and a Coke and bring it back. Yes, ma'am. I was excited to get that little 75 cent in change in return. Now I'm going to go get me some candy. Or I go fishing. I got a neighbor next door. He used to hustle us. I come back with a bucket of fish. He give me about $10. I got hustled now that I look back at it. That bucket was worth more than $10 full of crappie and brim. And he hustled, but that was just what the community was. And when they grandkids and cousin, whoever came in town and visit them, they came and knocked on my door. Then we all went outside and we all hung out. But we all got lectured when we did wrong by no matter who it was in the community. Hey, y'all stop that. Matter of fact, y'all come here. Before I whoop all y'all. And gave us conversation, understanding. And it was respect. So as men, I'm saying that out there that we can't give up on our community, and it starts with at home with our kids. Whether our kids live with us or not, you still do the part that you can to be that father. I know a lot of men out there deal with the mothers and the issues that come along with it. I totally understand. But never give up the good fight as a man when it comes to the community, because it's our part to make sure our communities are strong. The same way I sit here and I talk about Southern and I talk about everything else. It's my job as a man to have these airwaves to talk to you about it. I'm not going to waste my time about nothing else. I'm going to talk to you about what's going on in politics in the community. I'm going to talk to you about what's going on when it comes to health. I'm going to talk to you about the real that we sometimes don't want to talk about and overlook. It's about us, man. Let's get ready to take a break. I'm over a little bit. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be back. More of the Jaguar Journal, all right? It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
T.R. Ricks is a fifth-year senior who's getting his first chance to drive the train that Bob talked about. And right now, he's driving it quite well because the Southern Jaguars are kicking butt in the SWAC conference. As Bob mentioned, 6-0 overall in the SWAC, and T.R. Ricks has played so well, over 2,000 yards passing. In the last 3 games running the football, he's been over 100 yards on the ground. The respect factor that he gets from his teammates is incredible. As a fifth-year senior who's never started, they elected him captain. And the numbers he has put up are represented on your screen. 27 total touchdowns on the offense, a pass percentage of nearly 60%. He could be the SWAC Player of the Year on the offensive side.
Best, and they're going to get a huge dose of the best offensive player in the SWAC, and that being Thomas Ricks.
Yeah, what Thomas Ricks has found a way to do is just beat defenses either with his arm, with his feet, or with his leadership capabilities, finding a way to win the games late with fourth-quarter comebacks. He showed versatility and athleticism. He's a tremendous athlete that knows how to win, most importantly.
He is a leader both on and off the field.
I just think it has come to a maturity level. I have a 4-year-old son, and, when he was born, I had to grow up fast and, just staying in school and practicing every day, trying to get better every day, just so he can have a better future. It's just been my inspiration. So, I just think that's my motor that drives me and, keeps me in the game.
His 4-year-old son, Collier, has not missed a game this season. They throw the football around in Rick's dorm room at Southern, and he says it's great playing football with Collier. 1st and 10. Ricks. He's got Vernon. Vernon makes the catch at the 45.
They can run the entire offense with all those guys in the game.
Ricks to Vernon. 1st down. Holmes in the backfield. Ricks. 1st down. Gage on the tackle, but not until Ricks picks up the 1st down. 2nd and 7. Ricks. Overstreet's got it. Across midfield. Ricks has a receiver downfield. It's caught for a touchdown. Territory. Ricks fakes the pitch. Gets inside the 15.
He's in the type of young men that represent his philosophy in life and in football.
Ricks in a shotgun. He's going to run it out to the 10. And 2nd and 11 after the holding penalty. Sidearm toss.
All right, everybody, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning. I'm Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us. Everybody listening on Talk 107.3 FM across the Baton Rouge capital city area, and everybody out there listening on our YouTube and our Facebook. Be sure to follow us on X, Instagram, as well as Facebook, and hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. We're also on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. And I'm looking, I often don't really get a chance to look live into the comments, but y'all, I don't know what y'all be talking about the comments on YouTube. Got somebody calling in right there. I don't know what y'all be doing up in here, boy. Y'all be going back and forward. God, dog, Crook, Clark, Carey. Who else in here going back and forward? Everybody going back and forward with each other, man. Come on, man. Good morning to y'all, though. We got somebody on the line. Miss Sandra. Good morning, Miss Sandra. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Oh, I wanted to thank you for the stroll down memory lane this morning. I've heard some names that I have not heard in a long time. There's quarterbacks and some of the players. So it's great hearing and seeing that this morning.
I'm glad you a Southern grad.
I'm a Southern grad, yes.
Well, come on, talk to me now. I done got you on the air. Now I'm gonna have a conversation with you. Where did you go to Southern University and what did you major in?
I majored in elementary education. I graduated in 1980, so it's been a long, long time ago.
It don't matter. Hey, you still a Jaguar. You still come to homecoming. You go to games and everything else.
Okay, this is my story. I live in Houston, Texas, but I didn't miss any games last year. I'm a season book holder. And one question is, where is Owens Hall? Because I'm going to may lose my parking pass. I drive 4 hours every week to see the Jaguars play, and I've never had to really worry about parking. So old school, not sure where Owens Hall is. So a lot E. I'm thinking about maybe I may be losing my parking space.
So they telling you you're going to be parking at Owens Hall now?
No, the people who park at Owens Hall. I know it's an E. Where's Owens Hall? Because for us old Jaguars, we don't know. I don't know.
I don't even know.
I don't think it was okay, because it wasn't Owens Hall. It wasn't an Owens Hall. I know that I parked by the gym, so I'm thinking that's Seymour Hall, right? Is that what that
Seymour is Owens across the street from the bookstore? I don't think that's Owens, is it?
I have no idea, so I thought you might know. I said, let me call and find out.
Well, you call me back next week, I'll definitely find out. So your new parking area is going to be at Owens Hall.
No, my new parking. No, we may lose our parking because our parking lot E, and they said people who park by Owens Hall, and I'm hoping I'm not parked by Owens Hall because I don't even know where that is.
Well, I'm gonna find out for you next week. I'm gonna let you know.
Oh, yeah, because I park in lot E also, but I think I park by the gym, and I don't think that's called Owens Hall. I don't know what's the name. They may have changed it. I think it's Seymour Hall or something like that. I'm not sure.
We're gonna figure it out. Look, I told you, like I tell people, I don't work at the school. I know from when I went to school, I know what I know. But if you ask me, like, put me on, I don't really be knowing. I just know if I look at a building, I know where it's at. You know what I mean? But
yes, me too.
But for you, listen, I appreciate you calling. Look, we don't get the women much to call in, so I appreciate it. You know, how's everything's going good with what you think with Southern these days? What's your thoughts?
Well, this is it. Okay, I have something to say about the parade because I always make the parade every year in homecoming. So I'm not happy with it. I feel like it's a better way, some other solutions that you can come up with within moving a homecoming parade because really it's not a homecoming parade if it's not on that particular weekend. You know, we went to, when Southern played TCU, you know, there were parking rides. We actually parked at a high school and was, you know, taken to the game by little bands or buses or whatever. There's so many other things that we can do. We just need to form some kind of committee to put together to come up with some solutions instead of just maybe one or two people coming up with these decisions. You know, and it affects a lot of people. Homecoming is for the alumni. So how many alumni is going to be in town on Sunday for a supposedly homecoming parade? Because I don't consider it a homecoming parade anymore. I'm not happy with that. So that's my opinion about that one.
And I'm glad that you expressed it because that's the point of that. We hear from the people because at the end of the day, it's for the people and it's supposed to be about the people. And I had spoke about it. I said I would have liked it, even if they wanted to move it and open things up, I would have liked it on Friday. You know, Friday still I thought would have given people an opportunity coming in town and, hey, I'm just showing up, man. We go straight to the parade or whatever else. But, yeah, I feel the disconnect for that Sunday. Especially we'll be playing Bethune-Cookman that weekend. And then, you know, people got church. You know, people make time for what they want. NFL. It's just a lot of things that I just feel, well, if we're going to do it, if it's going to be homecoming, let's at least lead it up to the. You don't do a Christmas parade a week before Christmas, do you?
Right. I understand what you're saying, and I totally agree. When I first heard it, I was very disappointed.
Yeah.
And I'm still disappointed because I won't be able to make the parade because I usually make it every year and stuff. And it's for the people don't realize homecoming is for the alumni pretty much. I mean, it's for the school, the university, and everybody. But we bring our alumni back and show them, you know, what we're doing here at the university and stuff. And to push the alumni side and say, well, let's just like one year they moved the parade and had a different route through one neighborhood that didn't have any sidewalks. that didn't work very well. But my thing is, you have to get people in there who actually care about the university, like you, and come up with decisions that's what's best for everybody, not what a few people want to do.
Yes, ma'am. I wholeheartedly agree. Listen, don't be a stranger here. You want to give a shout out to anybody this morning that may be listening, or just shout out anybody that.
No, not really. I know my friend Ricky listens every Saturday. That's how he get all his information. So I'm sure he's probably listening this morning, or he'll go back and listen.
Well, I appreciate you for listening. You listening to us from over in Houston?
From Houston, yes.
All right. Well, appreciate you this morning for tuning in. Don't be a stranger to the show. Call in anytime if you want to. Say what's on your mind, or just say what's up to me. Hey, you're more than welcome anytime to call in.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Let's get ready to take a break real quick. We'll be right back to close things out. More of the Jaguar Journal. It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
Talk about offense, we talk about Southern, and it begins with their passing game.
Tom, beyond potent, we're talking about high octane, we're talking about fast break, we're talking about 41 points a game, some 500 plus yards since Terrence Levy has taken over this offense.
Because that young man doesn't drop any ball.
With the legacy that you started here, you got to feel happy to see it continue on with Doug Williams.
Ball now back at the 22-yard line. Levy, no pressure at all. Touchdown, Ingram. The Bayou Classic. Levy on a first and goal play. Throws a touchdown. Grambling comes with a blitz. Levy steps in the pocket. And his pass is caught. One-handed grab.
Sort of in the middle of the road of the SWAC, but immediately they jump on the Jackson State defense. And here's Levy rolling out. And the pass is caught. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Again throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver Hayes makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. If you're going to get, I got some free tickets. Look out for it, brother. Going downfield. Oh, and what a play by Southern.
Score. He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
pass.
It's
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable, Michael Hayes. 3rd down. And 23 for a first. Levy over the middle. Nice pass that time. 2nd and 20. Levy doesn't have to get it all, but he's going to have to pick up some yards. Here he is throwing, nice catch made.
The receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out a foul.
Touchdown.
Backfield. Plenty of time for Levy across the middle. Has his man at the 15. You know, I don't know if you want to break the spirit of Terrence Levy or not. Here he wings one wide open down the middle, and a one-handed grab made.
The way. 3rd down and 4. And here's Lewis off the catch. Lewis still on his feet, and Lewis is streaking down the sideline. Touchdown. So they move back.
All right, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning, everybody. I'm Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us. Everybody listening on Talk 107.3 FM around the Baton Rouge capital city area, and everybody out there listening across on our YouTube and Facebook page. Good morning. Glad to have you. Be sure to follow the Jaguar Journal on Apple Podcast, Spotify, as well as look around for us on social media on X, Instagram, and Twitter. Glad to have you guys with us. Somebody told me this morning, that I just saw in the comments, they said Owens Hall is the crack house. Thank you for helping me understand exactly. That's why I don't know where Owens Hall. When I came, nobody was using Owens Halls. It had been abandoned, so that's just one of those buildings I never heard much about, but thank you. My man Graylin, shout out to Graylin. Good morning, Graylin, man. Listen. He said, man, that was Owens Hall was the crack house, okay? For everybody out there, that's just a little joke I got going. It ain't actually no crack house. Wasn't no crack sold in it. Nothing was wrong, but that was a nickname given to it by my partner from Prairie View when he came and saw it boarded up and looking the way that it was. So thank you for helping me out right there, Graylin. All right. I totally understand where it is now. There's no more. They tore it down. So now it's an empty lot. They working and building on some stuff, but that definitely helped me a lot better to understand where Owens Hall is now. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there, man. All my fellas out there, man. Happy Father's Day. And for everybody with the kids at home this summer, man, make sure you're doing something with the kids instead of just putting that dang on iPad or game in front of them, man. I know they ready for that new Grand Theft Auto to come out next year. NCAA, fellas, hey, I'm on that NCAA, right? I play college football. I'm pretty good at it, too. I'm closing in. I'm knocking at the door of 500 wins online. Now, I'm one of the top ranked in the world, okay? I just want to put that out there. I'm still on the video game. They keep me out of trouble out here, get me out the streets and out here stuff I should be trying to avoid. I go home, I play NCAA online, but the new NCAA is coming out. But y'all make sure y'all send them kids outside at least for 2-3 hours. I don't care how hot. It's hot outside. Surely is. You right. Buy them a bike. Let them go ride the bike. Get them a basketball goal out there. And when they thirsty, we don't give them bottles of water. Y'all go back there and cut that hydrant on. Come on, man. We got to give them something. We can't keep pandering and catering to this new generation. Hey, that's why they say this new generation. So you got to get them out there. Get them outside. Old school, y'all go race. Go race out in the front in the street or in the backyard. Give them something to do. Give them a football. Let them do something. Send them outside for 2-3 hours. Y'all can't come in here sucking up this AC. Well, our electric bill high and the Wi-Fi bill is crazy. Send them outside. Don't have them sitting there in front of all them electronics. It's that time of the year. It's getting up to fireworks. The 4th of July be here. Take them on over there. Bottle rocket season. I know about them bottle rockets. Hey, I'll sling it and hit you right wherever I need it. I can aim that bottle rocket. That bottle rocket had the whole neighborhood running. It's a different era. They don't do stuff like that no more. I was watching Major Payne yesterday. I said, man, the stuff Major Payne was doing to those kids, there's no way. In 2025, there's no way they can make that movie with all the stuff that he was doing to them kids, man. But nonetheless, man, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's show, man. It was just one of those days. I just wanted to talk to you. No guests, no specific agenda. We wasn't headed in no direction. It was just an old school. Let me talk to y'all. Let me give you some information on me. I just want to have a conversation. I know I load this show up with so much information from the outside to give you guys, but a lot of times it's just basic me-you conversation. It's just basic, hey, let me just give you some thoughts out of my head because I have some experiences and it's things I've done in life that I think sometimes could be a word that could help somebody or could just be relatable. We deal with people who's so, professional. And sometimes when we deal with life, some things just don't seem to be relatable sometimes. And I'm a very relatable person. I'm a man of the people. And no matter what the status is for me in life, where I go, what I do, I never forget the people. The people are always important because I come from the people. I come from the community. I am still the community. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there in the community. Make sure we continue to do our job first, going to get our health check. Second, because you got to be good before you can do anything else. They tell you on the plane when the oxygen mask fall down, put it on yourself first before you fool with somebody else. Take care of you. Fathers, I hope you're okay out there. I know we don't get the love and the sometimes the mental support that we feel we should get as men. But we just got to keep pushing, man. But we got to have each other's back. We got to tell each other we love each other. We got to continue to uplift and build each other up and not tear each other down. Let's be there for one another. And that's how we can be able to build up our communities and continue to do what we do and what's expected of us as men. First of all, just as men. Hey, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Put your pride aside. I know that's the toughest thing for anybody, especially a man, to do is to ask for help. Hey, man, if you need help, you need help. Put your pride aside. And I'm going to leave it on that. Put your pride aside. If you need help, you need help. And don't be afraid to ask for help. That's why it's good to have that group of guys, that community of guys, where you guys can talk to each other and be able to have that understanding. We all fall on short and hard times. We all have shortcomings, whether it's financially, mentally, whatever the case may be. But we got to be able to stick together and don't feel like we too hard and too masculine to ask for help. Man, listen, it happens to the best of us. And so what? Somebody got something to say. Hey, keep on living. That's all I got. Love you guys. Happy Father's Day, man. Enjoy the rest of your week. From myself, Perry White, my man Mike on the board. We hope you guys have a great weekend and a great rest of your week. We'll be back next week at the same time, the same place. As always, it's the Jaguar Journal. What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.